What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State, where we are at a supermarket that is super full of super zombies. No, they're not super zombies. They are actually quite the average zombies, but I believe what we were doing before is we were letting Doug clear everybody out. That's right, a new recording session has begun. I haven't decided whether it's like less professional. I can't really decide. I prefer to tell you guys when it's a new recording session so that if I play really badly over the next couple minutes, you'll be like, oh, it's because he hasn't played in like a week. But at the same time, I feel sort of unprofessional doing it. Then again, I play video games on YouTube. Like, what amount of professionality do you really need to play video games on YouTube? I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go smack this zombie in its face, though. This zombie's about to get dealt with because he's staring at me wrong. It says it's a staring corpse. Ooh, dominated, you staring corpse, you. Okay, so there's a guy down. We only did 4 decibels of sound. We should be okay. We should be able to get this one over here, too. That one's been savaged. I didn't even know you could take the word savage and verbalize it. Like, I had no clue. Oh man, he missed. Okay, so this is gonna be problematic. He may actually get... Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Definitely something that I was worried... Oh, they're gonna hit him twice. He's got armor, so he's gonna resist a lot of it. Like, the bites aren't as big of a deal as they would have been at the beginning of the game, but for right now... I'm going to have him get out of the way real quick. There we go. I'll loot all these zombies in just a second. My point right now is not to focus on looting. Instead, I just want to get the location cleared out so that I can make sure that if anything else kicks off, because this seems like the kind of location where you get like sneak attacked while you're looting by like some random gang that's like, we should hit the supermarket for booze. How can you tell? So it says that this one's an old body. Does that mean that he's decaying right now? He's old in that respect? Or does it mean that... Oh, that zombie hurt us. That's not good. Okay, well, I guess we made 8 decibels of sound, I suppose. I guess it was just too much. That zombie's going to get to move to right there. That's going to take us 3 AP to get to, which means we only really get like 1 bat swing. Instead, I'm going to run away and see if we can disengage it. The zombies disengage very, very easily in this game. They're actually not that difficult to duck and move. Oh, actually, we're making like a little parade of pain over here. I'm hoping it'll drop the combat after this right here. Because they should just come over here and investigate the noise. I'm pretty sure that I got Vic out of the way in time. So this should be... Yeah, I was going to say, I had a distinct feeling that it wasn't going to be that bad. Isn't everybody full up right now? This is one of those locations we might have to hit. Like, we have to go somewhere else and then come back. Because I'm pretty sure that before I quit the last episode, everybody's weight allotment was looking... Okay, so our weight allotment is not perfect right now. But it's definitely not flawed. I mean, we've got enough to where we can carry some stuff out of here. I would like to drop that on the ground so that it doesn't accidentally get stocked. I don't want my people eating, like, weird little mealworms or anything. Like, it can be done. If you have to eat a mealworm to get by, then eat a mealworm. It's not that terrible. But while we've got good stuff on the shelves, I would rather not worm our way into a situation with morale. There goes another body. It keeps saying, oh, that one's a smelling corpse. Okay. I like how they have all these various verbs that are associated with these zombies. Which zombie's going to come in here and mess with me? I think I'm actually going to bring people inside just in case. Which zombie saw me? The game is being very, very strange right now. Game, you are being odd. I don't even see anybody moving. It says we're in combat, so I suppose I'm just going to bypass turns until whatever's stalking around becomes incredibly apparent. Although, honestly, I don't want it to birth any problems, so maybe I would like it to not become apparent. There we go, apparent. You guys, there's the joke. Oh my god, he made a joke about little kid. Oh my. This guy's a dead clerk. God, that'd be my luck. I'd die at work. I would die at my minimum wage job. That's what would happen to me right there. That's my Murphy's Law. Oh man, I would already be having the worst day ever, and then a zombie outbreak would make it so that I would die and reanimate as a zombie at the worst retail job that I ever had. That's I have no faith in the universe to not allow this to happen. Why is it keeping me in combat for so long right here? I killed the zombie and there's nothing else moving around. I was gonna say, like, there might be something moving around in these racks or something that might be trying to get us in trouble. Oh, we've got pharmaceutical counters too. We need antibiotics really, really badly. So I'm gonna go out of my way to get my hands on that. Oh. Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna bring people in from now on. Maybe I should use some. I probably use Twiddle Time. I wanted Vic to get some kills in. It doesn't really matter, but I like Vic, so I like playing around with Vic as a character. And so what I'll do, I'm going to have Tweedletime do it. Since he's got so much more AP to kill the zombies with his hammer, it only takes him 2 AP to take a swing. I figure I'm going to give him the honors of combat right now. I know that you guys are going to see this in a couple of days, and I know I didn't get a review video up last week. I recorded the review video, and it had a whole bunch of rendering issues, and then I wasn't pleased with the content afterwards. I just didn't like the video that much. And so I felt like I went off on diatribes that were unrelated and unnecessary and sort of just like had a negative undertone. So I decided I wasn't going to upload it. I just wasn't pleased with it. And so you probably won't. I forgot why I brought that up now. Oh yeah, people have been asking about a Viking Conquest playthrough. Viking Conquest is really, really buggy right now, and I'm waiting for it to get patched. I know that like the Reformists and a couple of other people have started playthroughs, but I actually think that that's a fairly sizable mistake. I mean, maybe they aren't having problems with the game, but I had problems where the game was crashing like every 10 minutes. I can't get it to run at higher than 25 frames on a brand new computer that's overclocked and water-cooled and everything else. It's got all kinds of issues right now. Just the single threading alone is a major problem. And so, essentially, I can't get the performance out of the game that I want. It's crashing all the time. It's got loads of bugs. Like, I was playing last night and it deleted all my gear randomly. And I was like, okay, that's kind of odd. And once it deleted my gear, I was like, okay, I'm just going to wait for this to patch up. I'm not sure that I'm ready for these sorts of shenanigans. No, don't go back into combat. Drop out of combat. What are you doing? We keep getting stuck in combat, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if they patched this over the last couple of days, but we're definitely getting stuck in combat with nothing fighting us. I'm wondering if they're doing that to punish people for trying to exploit and bring mobs over. You know, a couple episodes ago, what we did with the coyotes, where you can open up combat and have them draw back towards you. I'm wondering if they did this to like counter that, because there's no zombies moving around or anything, and they're completely unaware of us. I know we're not going to have a lot of space to move stuff around here, but what I'm going to attempt to do is get the pharmacy counters first. If we can get the pharmacy counters, I think we'll be good, because antibiotics and meds are a really, really big deal. If we can get a couple of vials of codeine, if we can get ourselves some antibiotics, I think we'll be in a great spot for later on in the game. As of right now, we have nobody bit, which is actually a really, really big deal too. I was always worried about that, because in previous versions, it was very, very easy for people in your party to get bit. Like, seriously, they got bit like one time, and your armor didn't resist it. They were automatically infected from there on in, and then you had to figure out how you're going to get enough antibiotics to keep your entire party from dying. In fact, back in the day, I think the main character could get infected too, and if the main character died, you got a game over or something like that. There we go. I'm going to eyeball this area real quick. Anybody want a big screen TV, huh? That plasma of your dreams? Or maybe perhaps a nice little iPod dock? This actually looks like a audio. Oh, this looks like an electronics store from like the 80s. Look at that. They got the big old phone with the giant, like, the enormous, God, answering machine. I only know because my dad's business had one of those like back in the 80s. It was like the biggest phone on earth. And he had a copy machine that was just like, and this is not like a stand-up copy machine. This was a copy machine for home use, and the copy machine was enormous. It was like the size of the front end of a car. It was insane, like how big that thing was. Is that a looter or is that a... Okay, it's a rotten looter. Clearly he was rotten at his job. No joke, no joke. Rotten looters get themselves bit, and then they turn into literal rotten looters. Okay, so that's another one down. Unfortunately, it's going to lock me in combat again, so I'm going to try and stay away from that, but everything's going to be alright. I do think that this location actually is not nearly the threat that I thought it was going to be. I was worried when we first started this place off that it was going to snowball into this weird, just horrible death trap, because supermarkets seem like the kind of place... I mean, look what happened in this War of Mine. In this War of Mine, every time you go to the supermarket, something bad happens. But we've solved that now, too. I was going to talk about that in this week's. I haven't done the Season 2 of this War of Mine because my mic is incompatible with my new computer, and so I still can't stream in 1080p. It's my luck. It's my luck. I'm telling you, everybody, it is my luck. Let me bring Vic up here. I'm going to need some people that can help out with this, because we've got to take both these zombies simultaneously, and whenever I attempt this, it doesn't work the way that I want it to. Still, I know what I want to do. If the game had a pause mode, I could make this work, but it doth not. So, we doth just kind of hope that this works. Move him to right there. The other thing is that it recenters the camera whenever you click on somebody. That makes it difficult to do stuff like this, because if you go click really fast, you could make this work, but due to the fact that the camera's a little wonky... Actually, you know what? Just bring everybody in. We'll have everybody line up right here, and we'll just make it work. Just in case things get really out of hand, we'll have the whole party here. Oh, he got me. I tried to click, but it got me. I felt it. Like, you know how you have that feeling when your muscle memory is off by just a second, like a microscopic piece of a second? That's what it was right there. I clicked, and the second I clicked, I was like, oh, the zombie's going to get me, because there's a rhythm to it where if you want to enter combat with the initiative, there's a definite rhythm to the whole thing. This zombie's got to go to make a path for everybody else, so I'm going to take that out right there. He's actually, just step on out of the combat. There's no reason for you to actually be in there. Oh, no. Okay. So that puts him in an awkward position. However, Dougie Fresh is not necessarily in a bad spot, so maybe we can make him work. Not in the face! Alright, Dougie. Show me how to Dougie. Show me how to Dougie. Show me how to Dougie. All my women love me, love me. Something like that? I don't know. I haven't heard that song in a long-ass time. Don't blame me. Oh, come on, Vic. How do you get beat by one zombie? How does that even happen? Turn-based combat does not accurately reflect zombie combat very well. You always feel like your players are like idiots. Like, how do you get taken out by one zombie that you know where it is? And the reason is because it's a turn-based combat game. And zombies are not really that conducive to turn-based combat. Oh, good. Let's miss. Yeah! All the misses ever! Okay. There we go. We've got the enemy handled now. I'm going to start looting, I think, because that might be our last zombie taken care of. Let me put this on single mode, but I get the feeling that once I start getting down and dirty with all the food boxes here, that we are probably going to end up running out of space and making a double run just to get everything from here. But compared to some of the locations we've been before, the comparative risk here was so much less than all the other locations that I actually don't feel that badly about it. If it takes us multiple runs, it takes us multiple runs. I'm not going to cry about it. You may also be asking why I'm looting like random shitty weapons that are just laying around all over the place. I'm looting the random weapons because you can break them down later on for parts, and then you can upgrade your weapons using broken parts and things like that. So, just trying to discount food rack. Where is that zombie at? I have no clue what zombie is trying to eat me right now. Oh, it's behind him. Oh my god. Okay, so I guess there was one in this. It must have been back behind the rack or something. That's all that I could figure, because it definitely didn't come into line of sight. Luckily, he resisted all the swings, so he should be fine here. I'm gonna have him step to the side, and then we're gonna let this zombie have it with our added hit chance. There it is. Problem solved. Back to our discount food rack so that we can get some sugar. Ooh, some peanut butter too. Yeah, we're about to have a good-ass day. Okay, so he's full up now. And people who are full up, I'm actually going to deploy them outside so that I don't have to worry about, you know, grabbing random stuff. First things first, though, after I've gotten the peanut butter, we now need to focus. I'm sorry, everybody. If you don't like peanut butter, I've heard that peanut butter is like a distinctively United States type thing. Like, we eat a lot more of it than everybody else. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that's just kind of the impression that I get from the few Australians and, you know, UK people that I've talked about, is that peanut butter is not like all over the place overseas. Like, they said you can get it, but it comes in little tiny jars, whereas over here you can get it in like gallon jugs because it's kind of just like a food staple over here. Like, everybody eats peanut butter with everything. But anyways, if you don't eat peanut butter, I understand. It's kind of a gross concoction. It's a little bit greasy and disgusting. Like, I get it, but I love the flavor of peanuts. So, you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's go over here and check this wife beater. Yeah, he got a sugar bar on him. Died with sugar bar in hand. The checkout display. It looks like there's a couple candy bars right there. Yeah, there it is. Some of them nice little luxury goods make people a little bit happier. Stock up his food. Dead clerk down here. I'm going to try and loot all the bodies and everything. I don't recall if we hit all the other locations on this map, because I know there was like... Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different map then. I think we hit all the cars. I'm pretty sure we hit all the cars. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm trying to recollect right here. Sometimes I watch the previous episode if I'm not completely sure what I accomplished or didn't accomplish, but yeah. I'm positive enough in this chance, or I'm sorry, in this opportunity that, or this situation. God, I don't know why. This is my first episode of the day. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago and I just finished my breakfast too, so I'm all like mealy mouthed and having trouble thinking. I've got the itis taking in on me. You all know how it goes. I had too much for breakfast. I really did. I made like sausage, and then I was like, halfway through the sausage, I was like, well, maybe I'll have some cereal too. And then like through the cereal, I was like, I'm gonna make a biscuit. And it just kind of got out of hand. Things got real. It got out of hand really, really quickly. I have apologized to my lower intestine, my colon, my small intestine. I've just let them know that, you know, I didn't mean for breakfast to get out of hand like this, but I'm a sucker for breakfast. Like, I really do enjoy all facets of breakfast. It is the superior meal of the day. It's the most delicious meal of the day by far. I think it's not as variable. So, for example, you can't get away with things at breakfast that you could get away with other meals like dinner. You can't, like, you know, have an au jus sandwich for breakfast. It's just kind of weird. People are going to ask questions and be like, hey, why are you having like an au jus sandwich for breakfast? And you'd be like, a sewing machine. Is that allows for clothes to be mended and fabricated? That's a huge deal in a survival situation. A sewing machine. I mean, you can do it by hand. I never learned how to sew, weirdly enough. My dad knows how to sew, and so does my mom, and I never learned how to sew. That's something that I always figured I should sit down and learn how to do, because it seems like a useful life skill. Like, seriously, there's nothing like blocking anybody from learning to sew, and I feel like I really should. I feel like it's a gap in my education right now, my life education, my home skills. Oh, it was the flashlight that was doing them in. Okay, so I could probably get something lighter over here. It's a clothing display, a couple of shirts. There we go. That puts him right up to the edge. We are going to have to make 2 runs over here, but there's not going to be enough loot to totally fill up all of our characters. So if we make a second run, the way that this is going to go is going to be, we'll have to hit multiple locations. We'll have to hit this, then we'll have to hit something after it in order to make it worthwhile and load up everybody's inventory. I do wish that we had a better carrying capacity. I think the main problem right now is that Elaine is so kitted out for combat that it's using up a lot of her carrying space. We also want to watch out for zombies when we go back into the employee lounge. That's a nice employee lounge. They don't have a TV, though. I had an employee lounge one time. It was at Best Buy when I worked there. It was like this, kind of. It had 2 couches, though, and then it had a big screen TV right there, and then like a little screen TV over here so that you could watch multiple shows at the same time, like if different coworkers wanted to watch different stuff. Obviously, it got kind of noisy and out of hand sometimes, but it was still chill. It was nice to hide there during Black Friday during your break. Let me see if I can get rid of this zombie before something goes wrong here. Oh my god, why? Oh man, the misses with 90%, the misses. Oh my god, really? Fail. Like epic fail. 1 zombie that you had to jump on. How do you mess that up? That's the big thing, is if you have to jump on the zombie, like how do you even feasibly mess that up? You're like, what, did you flinch or sneeze or something? Alright, since Elaine is a terrible combatant that cannot be trusted with her own safety, let's bring somebody else back here who actually like can kill stuff. That's right, step on up, Tweedletime. I should probably take some of the armor off of her, but I wish I could find another bullet vest or something, because we could seriously, like, I think the bullet vest is probably the most useful thing we've found so far, because you can supplement, the bullet vest essentially just makes you immune to being shot, and then after that you can just supplement the remainder. There's nothing else left in here. Okay. You can supplement the remainder of the resistance that you need with just like other gear. So your blunt resistance, your edge resistance can come from other stuff. There we go. We might be able to get everything here. I don't know. Did we check all of the... I don't want to make too much noise. So let's put everybody back on follow mode. And let's have everybody meet out front. I think I got everything. I'm pretty sure I hit all the locations. We checked the bathrooms too for TP. Never underestimate the value of luxury items. This is pretty much just, I'm looking at the timer right now, and wow, this is an episode that devolved into just a lot of scavenging really, really quickly. Now that we have her here, what I need to do is let's throw some band-aids on Vic so that he heals better. If you don't bandage people's wounds, they heal really slowly. So you should strongly consider bandaging people, even if they're only missing like 20 HP. You should bandage them real quick, because that means the next day they're going to heal a whole bunch, and they'll be a lot more useful. Get those wounds all nice and closed off. Did I hit all these over here? I can't remember if I got all these boxes, but I want to make sure. It allowed us to see through that door for a second. Huh. You know what I found out this morning? I found out that one of my like long-term friends that I've known for a long time, I found out that he was in a boy band in the 80s called Black Male, but instead of like male as in like a male delivery, it was Black Male as in man, and it was like a boys to men type group. It was legit. He showed me the album cover. They all had like their Oakland Raiders jackets on. They all had their fades. It was legit. It was super legit. I was like, no way, man. You don't talk about this ever. How come you didn't tell me you were in like a boys to men, like... just like a boy band, man. That's so legit. That's hella funny and awesome. Like, I'm not gonna make fun of you for it or anything, because that's just awesome. I'd be like, well, it's just funny to me. Like, I like seeing... I'm gonna save my game real fast. You guys know my game sometimes crashes. It hasn't happened since I switched computers, but still paranoid about it. You guys know that, like, it's a funny thing, like, in life when you start to like take note of other people's dreams, you know what I mean? Like, you start to realize that a lot of the people you know who are like 50 and like 55, like they had like dreams and stuff that they wanted to do when they were young. You know, you just come to that realization, like everybody has that in common where they have like that thing in life that they want to do. And maybe it didn't work. Like, for example, I was in the music industry for a while and it didn't work out for me either. So coming from that point, like, it's just, ooh, orange trees. Yeah, gather up some oranges. Hell yeah. We got time. Cool. Take them on back to the shelter. Everybody really, really likes it when you have fresh food that you bring back with you, so I think that's going to work out. But yeah, it's always interesting to me to look at like dreams that people used to have. And for those of you that are young out there that, like, you know, you're still like in the middle, you're like 16 and you got like big dreams and big plans and stuff. I was too. But sometimes like stuff in life doesn't work out the way you think it will, or like you make a mistake and you lose like everything, which is the case for me. I made like a series of mistakes that ended up just like ruining everything. From why is Max still standing here? I know he's a playable character because I looked it up, and now I kind of regret sending him away. But actually, he seemed happy about it. He said that I understood when I sent him away, and so I keep hoping he'll come back and be like, I want to join you. Like, I made the right choice, maybe. But yeah, if you're still, like, young and you got, like, dreams and stuff, that's good. If you're old and you still got dreams, that's even better, because dreams are a hard thing to hold on to in this life. Because I think that there's, like, these forces in the world that really, really want to marginalize. The world does not like a dreamer. The world treats dreamers like they're bums, like they're artists, or like they don't know how to like work hard or something like that. And I don't think that's the case at all. But I think that people like the status quo to be maintained because the status quo doesn't make them feel bad. Like, if nobody makes it, they don't blame themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if nobody else makes it either, it's not my fault. But if just like one other person makes it and I don't, then I've got like something considerable about myself I've got to think about. But I think the world is like very, very obsessed with maintaining a status quo. So if you got dreams, you got to cling to that shit. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Because look, I gave up on dreams. Like, after my musical career ended because I made like stupid mistakes and I had a substance abuse problem and I messed it up. I had like record contracts on the table and I messed it up. I missed my shot. It was the most stereotypical story on earth. Like, I had it right there in front of me and I messed it all up with my behavior and my inability to just keep my party side like in check, you know what I mean? Additionally, I had trouble keeping my temper in check. I had a temper problem when I was younger, a real bad temper problem. And so I lost everything based on that. And after that, I gave up on dreaming for a while. I was just like, meh, no dreams. But like, I started doing YouTube and I started dreaming again, and look what happened. Sometimes you give dreaming another chance and like good things will happen to you. So don't give up. Like, I know sometimes it feels like that rainbow ain't out there, and it may not be, but sometimes it is. And maybe just that chance that it is a reason to keep going, right? Let's check the radio. Today I'm introducing a feature called Things I Miss, in which I talk about the things I miss from what seems like years ago now, old-fashioned music. Do you remember aimless web surfing? Man, I miss that. Just logging on and looking at the web links, updating your status. Here's a confession. I still try to log on every single morning and evening hoping to get the weakest connection. And I'd like to say I miss knowing how people are and about the world, but I have this sinking suspicion that no new music is being created anymore, and I think that's what troubles me the most. I mean, think about it. There are no musicians finding each other, no new songs being rehearsed, no singles generating buzz on the blogs, no live shows to see. I live for that stuff, and it's not here anymore. It's not going to be there tomorrow or the next day. All that energy and excitement and anticipation is just, well, it's like you hit your web cache, right? There's a music site from a few weeks ago, and even though there were problems back then, that site was exploding with reviews and new singles and tour dates, and you just look at it now and it's frozen. It's stale. It's a baby in formaldehyde. All that fandom electricity, all those flavors that are locked in that last day of your favorite website, it's You know what? I'm boring you. I'm telling you things you already know. You listen to me to escape that, and I'm still here and I can keep the good music playing. Here's something new for you, probably. Well, okay, this is a good one. Brand new from Panda Airliner. Here's Carrot Friends on KHEK, where the music is still alive. Okay, well, I don't know if there's going to be conversations to have with people, but I figure we should probably check around for a bit. All of his options look to be the same. Let's check with Joel, see if he's got anything to say about Vic since he got back. Ah, there it is. What can you tell me about Vic? Vic, well, he's a real good cop. Yes, indeed. He's a bit hard on me, but it's probably for my own good. Or so the sheriff said. About the only thing we have in common is that we're not native to Splendid. I know he used to be a cop in San Antonio, but he really keeps it to himself about that. Come on, Joel, you're holding out on me. Alright, see, I can't say for sure, but I think something bad happened in San Antonio that made him leave. Mostly keeps to himself, so I never got to talking to him about it, and it's probably nothing. Alright, well, thanks, man. So at least we learned that he used to be a cop in San Antonio. I have never been down to Texas. I need to make it through Texas sometime. I bet there's some delightful food up in Texas. That's what I'd be willing to bet, because California's a big state and it has delightful food. So I figured Texas is a big state, so it's probably got very delightful food. I don't think I've ever had real Tex-Mex either. You just kind of have like the exported Tex-Mex that you get in all the other states, like the corporate paid-for Tex-Mex. We have a lot of really good Mexican food here in California, but the Tex-Mex, I don't know how authentic it is. Like, I want to try real Tex-Mex and then make a comparison, see if real Tex-Mex has made it to like California and Arizona where I've been. Let's talk to Vic. You got anything here? Oh, I was going to say, can we ask him about San Antonio? I was kind of worried he was going to flip the shit out on me, though, if I did that. I was a little bit worried that he might, like, go haywire and just decide to take a swing at me, because Vic seems like that sort of dude. Let's see here. Nothing right there. Did we get the fence repaired? That's what I wanted to check in on. Did the fence ever get done? Or is that just... Where's the fence at? Oh, the fence is at 100 HP? Well, hell. I don't know if it's saying that its effective strength is made at 100% or if it's actual strength. We'll have to check it tomorrow. I don't know. The UI in this game can sometimes be a little bit odd. It said 100 HP, but I know at another time there was a number down there that said like 80 out of 100, so I'm not sure how that's going to work for the moment. I'd also like to... Let's take a look at our character sheet. We got 4 skill points that we can allocate for right now. I would consider maybe patching in some of this lower stuff right here so that we can take days off from scavenging, but honestly, every time I do that, our morale falls off. So I've got like this fundamental worry that I should probably keep going with either negotiation. Leadership, people have mentioned that leadership is really, really good, but I'd really kind of like to max out a couple stats if I can. I'll probably keep going with survival just because survival allows us to move quicker on the overmap, and I think like that's a really, really big deal. It allows you to hit more locations in one day, and especially since we haven't found a horse or anything yet. Like, I've heard that the horses are actually early on in the game, but we haven't found them yet. So I'm going to do all my inventory management right now and break off the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Dead State. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Hi do, everybody, and I'll see you next time.